If you have a small business or gig work, you can use this simple and easy 3-year profit and loss worksheet to track your income and expenses. You can also check your margins, gross margin, operating margin, and net profit margin to help you make smart financial and business decisions. The worksheet has 3 blank tabs in different colors: blue, pink, and green. This makes it easy to start with the color theme you prefer. You also have 3 example tabs in the same colors to show you what a completed profit and loss statement looks like. These examples help you understand how to fill out your own blank template. The worksheet is set up for 3 years, but you can just fill in 1 or 2 if you prefer. Or you can also insert additional columns to add another year if needed. Now let me show you how to use the worksheet. I'm going to use the green template. At the very top, I'm going to enter income data for 2023. You can change the year at the top. I'm using a sample construction company, but you can adjust the business name to match yours. Whether you're an event coordinator, a small computer repair shop, or another type of gig worker, the total income is calculated for you. Next, enter your cost of goods sold. These are costs directly tied to your product or service. The worksheet calculates your total COGS and gross profit. Gross profit is your total revenue minus the cost of goods sold. An important metric is the gross profit margin, which is your gross profit divided by total income. This ratio shows you how much of your income remains after covering direct costs. Note that all the calculation cells are protected, but you can unprotect them or bypass the warning if needed. After COGS, you will want to list your operating expenses. These are the costs not directly tied to your product or service, but they're necessary to run your business, like insurance, office supplies, professional fees, etc. Operating expenses are the day-to-day costs of running your business that aren't directly tied to sales. You can change the names of the expenses and add more rows if needed. Just make sure you insert rows in the right spot so the totals include all your entries. After entering operating expenses, you will see the total. Now you will know your operating income, which is gross profit minus operating expenses, and your operating profit margin. This margin is important because it shows you how much you're earning before taxes. It is also helpful to compare your operating margins over the years. Every for-profit business has to pay taxes, so there's a line for estimated income taxes. You can enter a percentage based on your past years or make a rough estimate. It doesn't have to be exact, it just gives you a ballpark number of how much to set aside. After subtracting taxes from operating income, you get net profit. You can then calculate your net profit margin, which is net profit divided by total income. This helps you compare how profitable you were across different years. When you scroll to the top, there's a summary section that shows you business margins. For example, the gross profit margin for 2023 tells me that 40% of my income went to COGS. The operating margin shows that for every $100 of income, I had $17.88 left after expenses. After taxes, I would be left with just $15. This view is helpful for a single year, but even more valuable when you enter data for 2 or 3 years. You can see how your business is doing over time, which years had more income but also more expenses, and which years had better margins. Sometimes a big project brings in more income but also increases costs and leaves you with less profit per $100 earned. I'm going to enter income, COGS, and expenses for 2024 and 2025 so I can see a complete picture. Now I can see that my margins were best in 2023, even though I earned less than in 2025. In 2024, I actually lost a little bit of money. I spent more than I earned. Maybe that was a year I tried to grow and took on bigger expenses to handle future projects. In 2025, I had the highest net income, and my margins did improve compared to 2024 as I became profitable again. But the margins were still lower than in 2023. I can now compare each type of expense and see which ones grew the most. That helps me find areas to save and improve my net profit margin in the future. This template is print ready. On a Mac, press Command plus P, and on PC, press Control plus P. Choose Portrait and Fit to Page to get everything on one sheet. You can print this summary for your team, yourself, or bring it to a meeting. Thanks so much for watching.